Welcome learners. In this video titled Tribes of Karnataka, Major Tribes and the Present Scenario, together we shall be able to enumerate the important tribes living in the state of Karnataka and also describe the various facets of tribal culture and its varied exuberance.
We have already discussed about Toda and Jenukuruba tribes. In this video, we will share other major tribes, namely Bedar, Hakkipikki and Sholaga tribes of Karnataka. Shall we begin with Bedar tribes?
Bedar tribes can be found in several places of Karnataka and are divided in 6 social groups. Bedar tribes belong to the famous Dravidian language family group. They are also known as Beda, Berad, Boya, Bendar, Berar, Burar, Ramoshi, Talwar, Byadar and Valmiki. The word Bedar has an etymological significance. The word has been derived from the word Bed or Bedaru, which signifies a hunter. The ancestors of Bedar tribes were the Pindaris. However, some claim that their ancestors were Tiroli Kunbis. The origin of the name of the tribe is not properly known. It's said that the meaning of the term Bedar is without fear.
Like me, I am fearless too.
Less information is available about the origin of these Bedar tribes. Within the Bedar tribal community, there are few Hindus and are called Bedar. The Muslims are being referred as Berad. These Bedar tribes themselves like to be identified as Nayakwadi since they work as village policemen or Talwar, watchmen or Nayak Makkalu, chief's children. The societal structure of the Bedar tribal community is quite significant. Bedar tribes have taken up occupations like farming laborers, security guards, workers, stone cutters, drovers, etc. There are 3 subdivisions of Bedar tribal communities. These are Maratha, Khande and Telugu Bedars. They have their indigenous customs and traditions. Just like many of the tribal communities, the institution of marriage is given prime importance in Bedar tribal communities. The proposal of marriage usually comes from the parents of the bridegroom. Although child marriage is prevalent in the Bedar society, the bride does not reside with her husband till her puberty. Marriage within the subgroup of the Bedar community is not allowed. Widow remarriage and divorce are permitted amongst the Bedar tribes. In matters of administration, especially in case of disputable matters, the Bedar tribes take the help of the village headmen, popularly called Kattimani. Bedar tribal community has developed immense faith on various practices related to religion and spiritualism like fortune telling, magic, and astrology. In the Bedar tribal community, all the Brahmins undertake the role of priests. In some places, however, Lingayat Matpatis also act as priests. Amongst the Bedar tribes, both the religions of Hinduism and Islam are prevalent. Janai, Jokai, Kandoba, Hanmappa, Ambabai, Jyotiba, Kandoba are some of the supreme deities of the Bedar tribal community. Images from deities like Durgava, Maruti, Venkatesh, Ellamma, and Mallikarjun are made from silver, copper, or brass images, and the Durga Murgava image is made in a box on their head. Cultural exuberance of the whole of Bedar tribal community has nicely been depicted in all its aspects like festivals, language, jewelries, etc. The people of Bedar tribal community communicate in Bedar language. Today, the Bedar tribes use diverse languages like Kannada and Marathi language.
I know many languages which help me to appreciate the diversity of India.
Jewelries are an integral part of the costumes of the Bedar tribal community. Both Bedar males and females are very fond of wearing ornaments that are made up mainly from silver and gold. As per the custom, these Bedar tribes have a set of conventional jewelries. The Bedar tribes wear gold and silver bracelets, khada, waist girdles, udurs, and gold earrings, muruva. In addition, Bedar females place their hair in a loose knots, wear several other ornaments like nose rings, a gold necklace, dhora in a social hoofed silver jewelry, which these Bedar females wear on the head. Moreover, there are quite a handful of Bedar tribes who shave their heads according to the custom. Tattooing also is a special custom of these Bedar tribes. The males and females of the Bedar tribe do tattooing on the several parts like forehead, corners of the eyes and forearms. Rites, rituals, customs are part of the Bedar tribal community. Basavis are a group of Bedar tribal females who reside inside the temple premises. After branding them with stamps by the spiritual head, the Bedar girls get to the temple where a necklace is attached around their neck in the name of the god. Fairs and festivals are part and parcel of the culture and tradition of the Bedar tribal community. The Bedar tribes celebrate various Hindu festivals like Diwali, Dashara, and Holi, and have a conventional headman or guru. They celebrate these festivals with tribal songs and dances.
Hakki Pikki.
The name of the community is derived from their traditional occupation of bird catching. Hakki in Kannada means a bird, while Pikki is an echo formation. Their titles are Singh, Rao, and Appa. The community is distributed in the Mysore, Kolar, Shimoga, and Hassan districts of Karnataka. They speak in the Indo-Aryan language, Vagari, at home and in the regional language, Kannada, with outsiders. They are conversant with Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and Hindi and use the Kannada script. Hakki Pikki tribes of Karnataka are Kshatriya or warrior tribal community and set their community after defeat by the Mughals. The Hakki Pikki tribes are said to be semi-nomadic, and the tribe has 4 clan divisions, namely Gujaratia, Kaliwala, Mewara, and Panwara. Among these clans, Gujaratia is considered as being the highest status clan, whereas Mewara is considered as the lowest one. Adult marriage is the rule among them, and marriages are mostly arranged by negotiations through instances of marriage, though exchange and elopement are also reported. Monogamy is the common form, and some cases of polygamy have been reported. During a marriage, bride price is paid in cash, and after marriage, patrilocal residence is followed. Divorce may be granted on account of adultery or maladjustment, and the remarriage of widows, widowers, and divorcees is permissible. There has been a recent increase in the age at marriage. Women participate in all the economic, social, and ritual activities and contribute to the family income. A Fulvanti ceremony is observed when a girl attains puberty. The dead are buried and death pollution is observed for 12 days. Ancestor worship is part of the death's rituals. The traditional occupation of the Hakipiki is trapping of birds and animals and the collection of forest produce. Many of them lead a nomadic life and move from one village to another, selling cosmetics used by the women folk. In order to sustain their livelihood, these Hakipiki tribal communities have taken up occupations like hunting. Nowadays, a few are settled cultivators or are earning a livelihood as agricultural laborers. Some of them are employed in government establishments too. Following the tradition of most of the nomadic tribal communities, these Hakipiki tribal communities too follow the rules of matriarchy. When the male member of the Hakipiki family is out for most part of the year, a woman of the Hakipiki tribal community maintains the family. Many of the Hakipiki tribal community women also take a trip selling beads. Hakipiki females in general execute skillful jobs like polishing beads, organizing decorative flowers and vases amongst the tribal communities. Religion has got an ardent faith in the numerous gods and goddesses. Every clan of the community has their own deities, and marriage of the worshippers of the same deity is strictly prohibited. Amongst the numerous deities, these Hakipiki tribal community is the ardent followers of the goddess Chamundeshwari. They consider Dadaji as their supreme god. Apart from these gods, they worship Jogan, Vikli, Nokor, and Dugav Kalka. They are considered as believers of Hindu religion, and apart from these, their religious beliefs encompass some other religious beliefs, rituals and ceremonies, rites, etc. The Hakipiki generally do not favor formal education for their children, especially for the females. They make use of both traditional and modern medicines.
Lastly, the Sholaga tribes.
In Karnataka, Sholaga use the term Gauda, meaning a headman, as their title. They are mainly distributed in the hilly parts of Mysore district. The language they speak amongst them is a dialect of the Dravidian language, Kannada. But the Urali Soliga division speaks the Soliga language for intra-group communication and Kannada for inter-group communication. They use the Kannada script. There are some people who also have given alternative names to this language vis-a-vis Solanayakans, Sholiga, Solaga, Kadu Sholigar, 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 Sholanayika. As per the provisions of the Indian Constitution, Sholaga tribal community is one of the scheduled tribes belonging to the Kannada group. Adult marriage is generally practiced and normally arranged alliances are preferred. Divorce is sanctioned on the grounds of adultery and maladjustment. The remarriage of widows, widowers, and divorcees is permitted. The women of this community fetch water, collect fuel and tubers, take part in social and ritual activities, and contribute to the family income. The dead are buried and ancestors are worshipped annually. The traditional occupations of the Soliga were shifting cultivation and collection of minor forest produce. Now they have taken to forest and agricultural labor. A few of them are landowning cultivators. Agriculture and farming are considered as the major occupation of the Sholaga tribal community. Quite a number of this Sholaga tribal community collects various products from the forest areas. That this Sholaga tribal community is very much pious and the people of this group are religious minded. Hinduism is the main religion among Sholigas. The Soliga worship community deities like Kharaya, Keti Devaru, Jadeswami, and some others. Mahadeshwar is their regional deity. They observe their traditional festivals like Rotti Habba, Mane Devara Habba. There are residential schools in the Soliga area where primary education is imparted to the children. The general response of the people towards formal education is favorable. This community makes use of both traditional and modern healthcare systems.
After discussing about the major tribes, let's talk about the present scenario of tribes in Karnataka. Begin with demographic profile.
According to 2011 census, there are approximately 4.2 million scheduled tribes people, which is about 6.6% of the total population of the state.
Sex ratio.
The overall sex ratio of the ST population of Karnataka is 990, which is higher than 973 reported for state population in 2011. The sex ratio of ST population has improved from 961 reported in 1991 census. The overall sex ratio as well as child sex ratio, that is 0 to 6 age group of ST population of Karnataka, is similar to the corresponding national figures for ST population. At individual tribe level, Gond and Kolidor have lower sex ratio in total and in 0 to 6 age group populations in comparison to the state ST population as well as other major STs.
Work participation rate.
The work participation rate, WPR, is the percentage of workers to the total population. The WPR of 50.3% among the ST population in 2011 is higher than that of the state population, which is 45.6%. The WPR has increased from 47.8% reported in 1991.
Marital status.
Marital status is one of the important determinants of fertility and growth of a population. The 2011 census data on marital status show that 46.14% persons among the STs of Karnataka are never married. The currently married constitute 47.47%, while 15.83% are widowed and only 0.16% is divorced and separated.
Literacy rate.
The literacy rate of STs in Karnataka is a cause for concern, as it has consistently been lower than that of the total population. The literacy rate among scheduled tribes, which was 48.3% in 2001, increased to 62.1% in 2011, while the state average moved up from 66.6 to 75.36%. The gap between the literacy rate of the total population and the ST population is very wide, although there has been a marginal decline of about 1.6 percentage points in the last decade. While the literacy rate of scheduled tribes has improved in the decade 2001 to 2011, they still have a long way to go before they catch up with the rest of the population. The ST literacy rate in 2011, 62.1%, was even lower than the literacy rate of the total population in 2001, which is 66.64%, placing them more than a decade behind in literacy levels. Though the literacy rate for women has increased at a faster pace than for males, it is still problematic because it is so much lower than the literacy rate for all women in 2011. Hinduism is the predominant religion of ST population of the state.
Religion.
The 2001 census data show that the Hindus constitute 98.1%, followed by Muslims, roughly about 1%. The remaining population belongs to the category of other religions and persuasions and religion not stated. Lack of data is a constraint when it comes to tracking the health indicators of the ST population. Declining access of the tribal people to forest areas, which had earlier provided them with food rich in protein and micronutrients, is the biggest cause of poor nutrition amongst the tribal population of Karnataka.
Recently, the Constitution Scheduled Tribes Order Amendment Bill 2019 seeks to include Parivara and Talwara tribal communities in the ST category to ensure they get reservation and other benefits provided by the government. Siddhi tribes of Belagavi, Dharwad would also be included in the ST category apart from those living in Uttara Kannada districts. The amendments have been made in the list of STs in Karnataka.
To conclude, we started the first part of the video with an introductory note on the tribes of Karnataka. Next, we discussed their demographic profile and cultural elements of the tribal life in Karnataka. Alongside, we tried to have an insight into the major tribes of Karnataka. Eventually, the discussion ended with a brief on the present scenario of the tribes in the context of progress made as per the Census of India 2011. Hope you have learned a lot about the state of Karnataka and its tribes. I believe this learning will take you a long way in understanding the diversity of our tribes of Karnataka.
Thank you.